you pick, if you outwork everybody, if you try to be a little smarter than everybody, if you try to be a better salesperson than everybody, if you try to be better prepared than everybody, you've got your best chance. Because if you don't do it and somebody else does, I have the saying, work like someone's trying to take it all away from you. I actually work like someone's spending 24 hours, working 24 hours to take it all away from you. And that's kind of the way I look at it.
What would you say is the number one reason why people fail?
Lack of brains, lack of effort.
Lack of brains, lack of effort.
Yeah, they don't do the work. They don't learn. When you walk in the room, when you start a business and you start to talk about somebody, you're never in a vacuum with no competition, unless you're just extremely lucky. And if there's going to be competition, that means somebody else knows your business as well as you do when you get started. And if you walk into a competitive environment and they still know more about the business than you do and more about your customers, you're going to lose. But most people don't consider that. They don't do the work. They don't learn more about their industry. They don't know even about their business. And so you've got to put in the effort to know more about your industry than anybody else. And that's the brains part, and that's the effort part as well. Because look, if you're competing with me, you better know what you're doing. Otherwise, I'm going to kick your ass. And you're not going to outwork me. And so, the combination is usually what kills businesses early on more than anything.
You could, within a 5-10 minute interview, say, this dude's not going to make it as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I can typically tell, right? I can tell by their passion. I can tell by their focus. I can tell by their preparation. There's a whole realm of things in any business. Here's the business you're in, and here's 1,000 things that influence whether or not you're going to be successful. Through my experience in businesses, I can put myself in his position and say, okay, here are 900 of the 1,000 things he has to be aware of, and then go through and ask. And by how many of those or her issues they've been able to address already, that kind of gives me a sense of how hard they're willing to work. And I can tell by the questions they ask me. So all I have to do is say, okay, what do you want to know? And when they start saying, what should I do?
They ask you.
Yeah, and that's fine, right? And I want them to ask questions, but people like to say, the only stupid questions are the ones you don't ask, and that's not right? Because the questions you ask tell whoever more about you than anything else you do. Because in particular, it tells me about your preparation. If you ask me questions about just basic things that you should have known and you should have down to a science, that's going to disqualify you almost more than anything. If you're not always learning, to this minute, if I'm not continuously learning, if I'm not just absorbing as much as I can absorb, someone else is going to kick my ass, right? So you talk about paranoia. The greatest source of your paranoia should be knowledge. If someone else knows more than you do, and if you're not learning, if you don't know how to learn, if you don't have a thirst for learning and acquiring information, you're SOL.
Do you think there needs to be a healthy level of paranoia?
Oh, absolutely.
There needs to be.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I always say, for every one of my businesses, I say, what would I do to kick my own ass? You're right. So whatever business you have, there's somebody trying to put you out of business. There's somebody trying to take a bite out of your business. And it's better for you to figure out how they're going to do it rather than they do it. And so, yeah, that's being paranoid. And so you have to be paranoid. You have to anticipate other people's next moves, and you can't ever, downplay the competition. I was at a business plan competition this morning at a college, and they were kind of being dismissive of the competition. And so you can't ever do that. They're out there trying to take you down, and they're not just going to sit still. And if you're good, really, really good, you're going to inspire them to work even harder, faster, better. And so you have to be, very self-aware of what you're good at and what other people are good at. And, a healthy dose of paranoia makes a big difference. Is very helpful.
Let's transition to a different subject with college. You went to IU,
Yep.
right? Now you got a lot of people that say, forget about school, drop out of school.
They're idiots.
So you think they're idiots?
They're idiots.
Tell me why.
If you're going to have and run a business, if you don't understand accounting, you're already behind the 8 ball.
Can't you hire a guy that knows how to run
But then
accounting?
they still have to communicate to you. Your accountant might tell you you're profitable, but your cash is going down. Not understanding a breakdown. And when you don't,
Do you think you need college to learn that?
yeah, I think you do, right? Because it may not, for some people, look, if you're so self-motivated that you can take an online course in accounting and teach yourself everything, you're way ahead of the game anyways. But most people aren't. I don't care if you go to a community college and take accounting and spend $99 for the class. Just, spending the money forces you to be more obligated to do it. But accounting, finance, lesser extent marketing, sales if the school offers that, these are all that's the language of business. And so while it's possible to teach yourself these things, and while it's possible to hire them, when you're starting your own company, you don't want to have to spend money hiring an accountant. Well, let me tell you that if you've gone through all these classes, you probably don't have to hire a lawyer to incorporate, right? You can probably figure out yourself. And so your cost of opening up a business drops. But even more important than all that, that's the blocking and tackling. That's the language of business. You know, the thing I learned at Indiana that was more important than anything else, I learned how to learn. And learning became far more important to me, because the one certainty in business is that it's always going to.
Helen Hadsell was able to win any competition she took part in. She was known as the contest queen.
Going to be changing.
How does one entrepreneur increase the speed in areas that they can increase? There's certain things you can't control.
Speed in what way?
Speed of growing your business.
All right.
So how fast can I grow it?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. You've got to know your own skill set, right? And you've got to know how that fits within your company's life cycle. You know, some companies are slow grind. And you just have to understand that, and you've just got to bide your time until it starts to click, and then grow with it quickly. You know, if you're trying to release a product that needs to be ubiquitous, you've got to go as fast as you can, and then, you know,
release a product, like a launch.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of people who will say, you know, perfection is the enemy of profitability, right? And that doesn't mean you have to wait till it's a perfect product. It really just depends on what the product is. It, you know, a barbershop, right? Is it an app? Is it a service? Is it a product? But you know, the key is looking for the low-hanging fruit. What customers are willing to write you a check or commit to it? You know, so that they're willing to integrate it into their daily lives or integrate it into their daily business. And so getting a commitment either through time or revenue is typically what I look for. And so if I can get a commitment, then I'm going to be able to learn. I'm going to see how they use it. Do they sustain usage? And then once I get the next one, you know, hopefully it came a little bit faster than the first one. Then I can ask for referrals, and then the next one, then the next one, and I just try to ramp it up. You know, when I bought the Mavs, we had no season ticket holder base. And so literally it was a matter of just putting a list of former season ticket holders in a white pages back then, you know, on my desk next to my phone, and making phone calls.
You?
Yeah, me. Yeah, because if I'm not going to do it, how can I expect someone else to do it, right? So just get on the phone. Hey, this is Mark Cuban. I'm the new owner of the Dallas Mavericks. You know, I'd like to invite you back for a game. It's not, though. This is my business.
But you can't get regular sales guys or something to make those calls once they get to a quarter. You're a guy that's a billionaire. You're making those calls.
But that's all, you know, and that's fine and good, right? Because everybody's got their own goals, right? But still, I don't want anybody at the Mavs to be able to say, well, he's not willing to do the work, right? There's, you know, if I walk around, I'm picking up all the papers. I'm not saying go get that picked up. I'm like, okay, that's trash. I'm picking it up. But in terms of speed of growth, it's really, you got to get that first customer first. And then when you get that first, what did you learn? Reiterate, get that next customer. And then hopefully as you learn more and more through the process, then the next one comes by even faster. You know, alluding to it earlier about entrepreneurs being born or built, you know, and I think I knew I was wired to be excited about business. How or why, I don't know, but you know, and there's certain guys that have the genetics to jump out of the gym, right? There's certain guys, you know, that, you know, when they golf, they have the muscle memory and the discipline. You know, Dirk Nowitzki may not be the most talented guy in the NBA, but his discipline and his focus to do what's necessary to be successful, he's willing to do, and combine it with being 7 feet tall and being skilled, you know, it makes him an amazing basketball player. So it's understanding what your skill set is, finding the right place to use those skills, and then going for it. You know, will that make you 250 grand? It depends if you pick the right industry. You know, I started my first business when I was 12. I was buying and selling baseball cards, buying and selling stamps. Anything I could do to make money, I was hustling and trying to do. So I was into business, but I not so much where it was all my friends were into it with me, so they wouldn't know.
Baseball cards.
Yeah, baseball cards, you name it. I mean, I grew up in Pittsburgh, and so I would, probably even less than 12 years old, I would go out and buy a bunch of baseball cards that I collected, and I would package, I would say, okay, you're guaranteed to have a Pittsburgh Pirate in this package, and I would charge 3 times as much, and I'd set up on this park bench down in the park down in Scott Township where I grew up. and I'd have these little sales, and it was great. I made money, and I mean, it was, and I learned as much about business when I was 9, 10, and 12 as I learned any other time.
At Walmart, save on thousands of gifts for everyone.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. What's up, Grand Rising and happy Tuesday, familia. I am super excited to be on this call. If everybody can hear me and see me good, let me know in the chat box. I am super excited and super blessed to be on today's call. Looking forward to it. Let's see right here. Let me make sure that we bring this chat out. Yep, and there we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. But if everybody can hear me and see me good, can I please get a 1 in the chat box if we can all hear each other good? Let's send out one last message. Remind everybody that, the call is live as we speak right now. Let's spread the word. Let's let everybody know. Call is live on YouTube. We have a good one here today. I'm looking forward to it. Yes, we can hear and see you. Blessed, blessed, blessed. I'm really looking forward to the call today and feeling good. I hope everybody is having a blessed day. I know I am. And, anytime we get a chance to, jump on Mornings with Nano, now since, we only come on YouTube Tuesdays and Thursdays, I've been missing you guys. And I'm glad that, you guys are jumping on. We got to get you guys over to MMX. If you're not on MMX, please let me know. Get connected with me on the Mornings with Nano Instagram page if you want to learn more about what MMX is, so you can get access to our inner circle and everything that we have going on. We're going to be having a huge call next week for MMX. The inner circle, just kind of break down what it is that's going to be going on in the MMX world and just everything in general. So I'm excited for you guys to learn a little bit more about that. So if you guys want to know more about that, contact me and Jasmine on the Mornings with Nano Instagram. Okay, at Mornings with Nano is super easy to find, and you guys will be able to get it right there. So that way we can get you guys, settled in. It's super affordable. Anybody can do it. And we have some good things on the way with MMX going into 2023. So I'm looking forward to it. But before we go into, the next topic that I'm going to talk about here today, which I'm excited for, let's express some gratitude. What is one thing that we are grateful for today? I am grateful for God. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my mother, my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughters, and my godson. I'm extremely grateful for my team and the leaders within the organization. I'm grateful for the roof over my head. I'm grateful for the food I get to eat. I'm grateful for the abundance of money flowing into my life. I'm grateful for the momentum that we are experiencing as an organization. I'm grateful for the lessons that I've learned over the years that have made me a better person. I'm grateful for just so many amazing things that have been happening in my life over the last few years that have really made me a better person. And I'm just so grateful that each and every single one of us get a chance to grow together, because, man, have I learned a lot of great lessons that have made me better. And I'm just every day more and more grateful for all the things that are happening in my life, fam. So I hope you guys are feeling the same way. I hope you guys are also extremely grateful for, the lessons that are being learned on a day-to-day basis, because that's truly what it's all about. And I'm excited to grow with you guys. And I'm really looking forward to this. So today's call is going to be a good one. We're going to be talking about something powerful. And I wanted to, just make sure that, we poured into everybody the right way, and that we gave everybody all the right information that is needed, especially during the season. Actually, as a matter of fact, now that I look at the date, today is December 20th. Every 20th of every month is a Mornings with Nano anniversary. And it's like a 1 month anniversary kind of thing. So if I think about it, we started June 2020. So this year, No, we started June 20th, 2019. So we're 3 years in. Okay, we're 3 years, and then from June to here, so July, August, September, October, November, December. So it's actually 3 years and 6 months. Today's 3.5 years of Mornings with Nano being done. Wow, bro. I'm about to be at 4 years doing Mornings with Nano. This is nuts. I'm about to be a whole school year. I mean, a whole school kind of what do we call that? Not a semester, but a whole 4 years. Like, it was like I almost did it in school. I imagine going to school for Mornings with Nana. How dope would that have been, right? For 4 years. Imagine paying a tuition to go to, Mornings with Nano school for 4 years. That's pretty dope. But this has absolutely changed my life. So let's type a congratulations in the chat box for that, right? Let's share that right there. A little congratulations in the chat for that. That's for us. We've been running for 3.5 years. Think about that. Think about the amount of people that have been impacted with Mornings with Nano. Think about the amount of lives that have been changed, is the people that have elevated, the amount of success stories that have been created through this, the amount of people that, have, stopped themselves from anxiety. I've met people that have told me that, they've stopped themselves from suicide. We've saved lives, literally. Like, I know we can say we've saved lives because we gave people, a better way of looking at life. But guys, I feel like we also saved lives because people there were people that jumped on these calls that needed to hear these messages. And because of these messages, they decided not to, hurt themselves in any kind of shape, way, or form. So, it's amazing. We've impacted lives all over the world, not just in the States, but in other countries like Germany, Sweden, Canada, Africa, you name it. We have it all over the world. And I am super, super excited for what it is that we have going on here. 3.5 years in 2023, it'll be a 4-year anniversary. And to think that I just started these calls just to help some people, it's amazing. But it just goes to show you guys why consistency is so powerful, right? Why you should never, ever, ever stop at what it is that you want to do, because you never truly know what it is that you can do for other people. I can truly say, guys, that with Mornings with Nano, I found my purpose. I found myself. I found amazing business partners. I remember, just yesterday, I was on a call with my sister, Natalia, who had a 6-figure day in trading, but I would have never met Natalia if it wasn't for Mornings with Nano. If it wasn't for Mornings with Nano, I would have never met a lot of the people that I met today that are in my life, like, for good. And I'm just extremely, extremely grateful for what it is that, has happened in my life, for real, for real. So I'm excited. But today, let's get into today's topic. So today's topic, I called it the blank space. Okay, the blank space. Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering, well, Nano, what is the blank space? Now, I was in the MMX Inner Circle chat, and I asked people, I was like, hey, what would you guys want me to talk about? I'm gonna let you guys pick today. And one of my guys in there, he gave me a great idea. And it's funny because I chose the topic even before, he actually responded back to it. So I was excited when he said that, because he said, yo, I want us to talk from a different perspective today. I know we talk about sometimes a perspective from people who, sometimes are feeling down, feeling, like they need a pickup and stuff like that. And that's always okay as well, because for the most part, sometimes we got to get people motivated to get back up. And that's why we speak from that perspective. But he said, yo, can we talk about, the people that have this information and it's working for them and they're in the best place in their life? And I said, yes, I'm in alignment with that, because I feel like I'm in the best place in my life, but I'm not content. I want to keep going. I want to do more. And that kind of goes hand in hand with what it is that I want to talk about today, which is the blank space. Okay. Now, a lot of people got to understand this. Okay. And the blank space is a very, it's an important topic to understand, because when you're on your way to success, sometimes you kind of feel empty. You kind of feel like there's something missing. You're not content with where you are. And there's something called blissful dissatisfaction. I want you guys to write this down. Blissful dissatisfaction, which basically means that you are grateful for where you are right now, but you know that there's more. You know that you can accomplish more. You know that there is more to accomplish coming up right now. So, you know, that blank space has a lot to do with that blissful dissatisfaction, okay? Because sometimes we're working towards something, okay? Sometimes we are striving towards a specific goal, and every single day we strive, we work, we do what's required, but for some reason, sometimes we feel like there is something missing inside, okay? And I want to talk about that today because I've met people who accomplished a lot of success, but they feel empty. And what I want to avoid is that while we're on our road to success, while we're on our road to the riches and the wealth and the abundance that we want to accomplish, that instead of having that blank space, we actually fill that space up. We got to be able to fill that space up so that we are not those millionaires that are empty inside, that are no purpose, just feel like they accomplished all these things, but they feel unfulfilled. I don't want that to be us, okay? But you got to remember, guys, remember, your senses do fail you. Understand that. And we've talked about this before, but I know that sometimes we see people on Instagram, we see people on Twitter, TikTok, and we assume that because they have this lifestyle, that they have this house, they drive these nice cars, they wear these nice clothes, you know, the girl has a nice bag and, you know, she wears nice shoes and she travels. We assume that these people are happy. But remember, our senses fail us. Our senses fail us. We may think that they're happy. We may think that they have everything in line. But in reality, sometimes people don't. People don't have it all figured out. People are struggling low key. And it's because they are not really fulfilling that empty void that they have inside. And that void usually comes from living a life with no purpose. Okay. And living a life with purpose is so important because the only way that you can fulfill that empty space, that blank space that we're talking about, is by living a life of purpose. And I want you guys all to know this, especially for someone like me. When I was working towards becoming a six-figure earner, when I was working towards becoming the best version of myself, I was empty, okay, until I found my purpose. And I want you to understand this. I'm going to get deep into this right now. When I was on my way to accomplishing the six figures in my life, and I was working my butt off, and I was traveling, and I was doing the things that, you know, were required, okay, I had to understand that I had to find something that I was that I was purposeful about. Because what tends to happen is, guys, you start to put this work in, and you start to realize that, damn, I'm doing all these calls, I'm doing all these trainings, I'm doing all of this, but I still feel empty. I still feel like there's something missing, okay? So if you want that feeling to disappear, you got to find something that you love to do. You got to love what you're doing. You got to love the ability to be able to help people. You got to love the journey. You got to love the process. You got to love everything that comes with it. You got to know that you're truly serving something bigger than what it is that's out there. Because if you don't, you're always going to have that empty feeling. You're always going to feel like there's more needed. You know, there's always the next level. There's always this. And, you know, it kind of goes hand in hand with what my mentor, Matt, was talking about yesterday. I lack nothing. I don't lack anything. Everything I want, I have. Everything I need right now, I have it. And understanding that simple concept right there is so important. I want you guys real quick in the chat box to type for me, I lack nothing. I lack nothing. I live in abundance. I don't lack anything. Why? Because I have all that I need. I have the team. I have the leaders. I have the organization. I have the business. I have the money. And this goes amazing for my people that have a lot of things going their way, where, for example, me, I have, you know, I'm making the most money I've ever made. It's so crazy. It's so amazing how it works, how, you know, sometimes you could be going through some of the most challenging times, but you can be going through some of the best times in another area. So I'm living in abundance, even though, things are challenging for some people, you can still be in the best time of your life. You can still look for things, but guess why? Guess why I lack nothing? All right, because I'm in love with the journey. I've embraced the journey. I found my purpose in the journey. I found my purpose in helping people. I find my purpose in helping people. And at the end of the day, I lack nothing because I know I am exactly where I need to be. And that's why I can live a good and happy life every single day. And even though, yes, I am not content, and even though, yes, I know I'm going to accomplish more, I have to be thankful and blessed because of the present moment. Too many of us get too caught up in what we can do in the future and what we did in the past that we forget to embrace where we are. Don't let that go over your head. Too many of us focus too much on where we want to be and focus too much on where we were, that we forget how grateful we need to be for the present where we are right now. The present is the present. Never forget that. The present is the present. This is the present right here. You lack nothing. You are exactly where you need to be. You have the exact amount of money that you need right now. You have the exact amount of people in your life. You're in the exact opportunity that you need to be in right now. You have everything that you need right now to continue to move forward. So in your life, you don't lack anything. Don't live from a place of lack. Live from a place of abundance. We live in abundance. Think about all the resources we have. Think about the community we've been able to create. Think about the things that we have. Remember this, and a lot of people don't understand this, okay? But your worst day is somebody's best day, if you put it into perspective. Imagine that. Imagine your worst day being somebody else's best day. That's incredible when you think about it. So it's all about perspective, guys. You got to really start putting yourself in a position of understanding that, what you're really going through is not anything. Everyone here is in momentum. Everybody here is striving. Everybody here should be happy, excited. You know why? Because you are on the journey to success. You are on the journey to make sure that you live the life of your dreams. Okay? You got to keep going because you got to love the journey. And you know what happens is a lot of people along the way lose the capacity to enjoy and love the journey. Think about that. I'm going to repeat that again. Along the way, a lot of people tend to lose capacity to enjoy and fall in love with the journey because they ask for success, they ask for abundance, but remember, whatever you ask for also comes with opposition. It also comes with challenges. So a lot of us, sometimes we feel empty, we feel out of place is because we're not embracing the things that God has actually given us to grow. No one here should feel bad. No one here should feel sad. No one here should be stressed right now. Everybody here needs to be happy with where you are. You need to be excited with where you are. You need to be pushing every single day to become better. And especially if you're somebody that has everything working in your favor right now, oh my God, you should be striving to be more grateful, more. You should be asking God for more of this. I want more of this. Thank you, God. Thank you. More money, more opportunities, more people, more community, more communication, more love, more celebration, more. I want more of this. Okay, because we do have different perspectives, and that's the key. We need to know that you're on the journey to success. You're on the journey that you wanted. Why are you sad? Why are you down? You can't be down. You got to be in a place of abundance. Okay, and I'm glad that my brother Anthony in the MMX Inner Circle, talked about that. Because he said, yo, I feel amazing. I know what has brought me to where I'm at right now. I'm in the best place of my life. I'm not content. I'm not content, but guess what? Anthony has to be grateful right now. None of us are content. I know Millionaire Maker is not content. I know Warrior Spirit is not content. I know Iman is not content. I know Patricia is not content. I know Eunice is not content. I know Berta is not content. I know Jasmine is not content. None of us are content. None of us on this call, not even Nano. I had one of my biggest weeks this past week. I was grateful. I appreciated it. I celebrated it. I loved it. But I'm not content. I'm not content. You know why? Because I know we're going to push for more. But the one thing I got to do is I got to love today. I got to embrace today. I got to be so thankful for everything that I do have today. Because understand this, guys, in order for you to be grateful for more, you got to be grateful for the things we have today, the little things today. Okay? Understand, everybody has the capacity to enjoy where they are right now. Everybody has the capacity to enjoy where they are right now. I know it sounds crazy to be like, Nano, but how can I enjoy where I'm at if I'm not where I want to be at? That's the reason why you should enjoy it, because you're exactly where you need to be. Whether you're at a rock bottom moment, whether you're picking yourself back up, whether you're in the best place in your life, everyone that is on this call needs to be happy where they are. You know why? Because we need to love the journey. You know, I love this training that I've done, and I tell the story of damn, what's the name of the movie again? Somebody remind me the name of the movie, the Warrior movie. What's the name of it again? The Perfect Warrior. I know somebody's gonna help me here in the chat. What's the name of that movie of the guy that does the story? He takes him up the hill, and you know, at the top he shows them the present. What movie am I talking about? I would love for you guys to watch. It's like a 45-minute movie, an hour movie. But in the movie, you know, the guy, listen to this, and I want you guys to listen to this, because the way of the peaceful warrior, there it is, Peaceful Warrior. You guys should look up that movie right there. They have it on Amazon. It's like an hour movie. It's such a good movie. It teaches you so much. But I want you guys to hear this, okay? Such a powerful story. In the story, you know, the story is about this guy who is, if I'm not mistaken, he's a gymnast. Okay, and he breaks his leg, and he has an injury on his legs, you know, and he can't participate in a competition. So, you know, he obviously is going through, you know, the journey of recovering and getting back into that stage. And, you know, the guy one day, you know, tells him that, hey, look, meet me here at this time. We're going to go on a hike. Okay. And I may not be telling the story exactly to the T of how it goes, but this is how I tell it. So the mentor tells the mentee, all right, yo, I want you to meet me at this place at this time tomorrow morning. So we're going to go on a hike. And at the end of the hike, I got a gift for you. All right. So the guy says, yes, absolutely. Let's go on the hike. So the mentee shows up. The mentor is already there. They show up and they start walking. And, you know, obviously they're walking up and they're doing the hike, you know, and at the top of the hike, he's going to give them a gift. And, you know, as they're walking up, they're talking, they're excited, they're happy. You know, everybody, you know, is having a great time on their way up to the top of the hike. And, you know, they keep climbing, they're going through it, they're dealing with some challenges, but they're happy, they're excited about it because they can't wait to get to the top of the mountain, right? To the top of the hike. And when they get to the top of the hike, you know, the mentee asks the mentor, hey, where's my gift? You told me that at the top, I was going to get a gift. And the mentor points down at it and he points at a rock. He's like, there's your gift right there, that rock. And the mentee gets kind of like pissed off. He's confused. He's like, wait, what do you mean? Like, I thought you really had something for me. Like, you mean to tell me I came over here and I climbed all of this for this rock that's not even yours? Is, you know, it's not even ours. Like, you're just telling me that? He was like, no, look around. Like, look at the view. This view is your gift right here. And the mentee's all pissed off. And he's like, yo, I can't believe you made me climb for the last 3 hours, so on and so forth, to come here for just this view. And I really thought you actually had something for me. And then he teaches him the lesson, which is one of my favorite lessons of all time, which is the journey is what brings the happiness, not the destination. The journey is what brings happiness, not the destination. And he teaches them at that moment in time one of the most valuable lessons that he's ever learned in life. And that lesson forever has stuck with me. That lesson has always stuck with me because I remember I used to be the one that was always complaining on my way in the journey. Complaining, oh, but I don't have this, and this person did this, and I haven't made enough money here, and this is not going my way. And I would always be the one complaining until I finally realized that I wasn't enjoying the journey. And that's where the blank space comes from, not enjoying the journey. The reason why some of you feel empty, the reason why some of you feel like you still need more, the reason why some of you feel like, you know, you're not where you want to be at is because you're not enjoying the journey. And remember, comparison is the thief of all joy. You're comparing yourself to someone's chapter 10 when you're in your chapter 2, chapter 3. You're like, damn, this person already has the car, they have the house, they have this, they're making this amount of money, they have an e-commerce store that's blowing up, they have a crypto portfolio that's going great, they mastered trading, they're doing all of these things. But you got to understand that that person is in a different part of their journey. You need to love the journey. You need to find happiness in the journey so that you won't feel empty. And what happens is you start to feel empty and you stop putting in the work. You stop doing what's required of you because you feel like all the work that you put in is not leading up to anything. And guess what? You're doing work that is leading to fruitlessness, actually, where you're not creating anything because you're working from an empty heart. Okay. I learned that in order for me to get to the next level, I have to work from a full heart. Like right now, in order for me to work for myself, to get myself to another level, you know what I have to do? I have to work from a place that my heart is fulfilled with where I'm at. I can't work from an empty place right now. It would be too hard for me to get to the next level. None of us should be working from an empty place. None of us. None of us. You know why people feel empty when they work a job? You know why for some of you guys, you feel empty at a job? Because guess what? Every day you're going to work. And guess what you're doing? You're working every single day, 40 hours a week for somebody else, and you're not fulfilling a purpose. You know that's not meant for you. You know that's not your journey. So sometimes for people that work jobs, they have emptiness inside of them. No matter how much they work, no matter how much money they earn, they feel empty inside. Okay? Because you got to think about it. All right? You're putting in so much time and energy into something that means nothing to you. Some of those jobs that we have, they mean absolutely nothing to us. Like, yeah, we're cool. We're grateful for them that they're helping us pay the bills. But in reality, you know that that's not your purpose. Deep down inside, you know that's not your purpose. Because right now, you know you're building someone else's future and not your future. You're not fulfilling your vision. You're filling somebody else's vision. And what tends to happen is you bring that emptiness and that energy into your business now, into your future, and you cannot do that. You can't. Because remember, at a job, you're working for someone else, but in your journey, you're working for you and your future. It's hard for you to have your heart into something that's not for you. All right. Now, if it's your purpose and you love that job and it's something that you love to do, then you're amazing. I know people, for example, I met this girl. She told me she was a nurse and she loves to help people. She said, yo, Nano, this is my purpose. I love this. I don't care that I don't get paid as much, but I love this business. I love being a nurse. She went to school for it. She loves it. Great. But it's very few people that actually end up doing what they love. I met one of my friends. You know, he told me he wants to be an engineer and he loves building things and he went to school to be an engineer. He's still in school to be an engineer and he wants to get a job in the engineering space. I'm like, yo, if you're doing what you love, amazing. If it's a job that you love, do it. I will never not talk down on something that you love to do. But for my people that aren't doing what they love to do, you got to understand, you got to find a way that even though you may not be fulfilling your purpose at that job, find a way to, when you leave that job, to fulfill your purpose in your life, though. so that you don't feel that empty feeling inside. Because I know what it's like to work every single day. I know what it's like to pour into yourself and do the work and do the events and still feel like nothing has been fulfilled. But it's because you're not enjoying the journey. The challenges are part of the journey. People leaving your business is part of the journey. You taking losses is part of the journey. Your parents and your family and your friends and your girlfriend and your boyfriend talking down on your business is part of the journey. You actually have to be happy that those things are happening because you are experiencing what the journey brings. You're like, yo, this is what I asked for. Yo, I said I was going to take this journey to be an entrepreneur, and I said I was going to observe the masses and do the opposite. This is what comes with the journey, and now I have it, and I'm going to be sad about it. You got to think about that. We asked for this, and then we have it, and it's like, you know, you asked to eat, and now your plate is full, and now you don't want to eat no more. You see how that works? We asked for this, we got it, and now that we have it, we're not in a good mood about it. But then how can I be in a good mood about people talking down on me? Because it's part of the journey. Nano, how can I be in a good mood if I've spent 3 months and I haven't made any money? It's part of the journey. Nano, how can I be, satisfied if, I've been building my business, I'm in the best place that I've ever been, and I still don't feel content? Well, it's part of the journey. All of it is part of the journey. Everything I'm in right now is a part of the journey. We all are going through part of the journey. You know what I always say? Charge it to the game. One of the things that I've learned along the years is charge it to the game. Things happen. Yo, person left my business, charge it to the game. This person is talking down on me and they're giving me opinions that don't matter, charge it to the game. Okay? You got to charge things to the game because it's part of the game. People don't believe in you, charge it to the game. Because what you're going to learn is that the journey is what actually does bring happiness. Now more than ever, I understand it. I didn't understand it back then, though. I didn't understand it back then, but now I do. I understand that the game is what brings the true happiness, not the destination. Because let me tell you guys, paying for these ads is part of the journey. Facts. Big facts, Kenya. That's facts. Blowing trading accounts is part of the journey. Losing your rank is part of the journey. Investing into yourself hundreds and thousands of dollars is part of the journey. You charge that all to the game and love it and be happy. Yo, I'm telling you, remember, I learned this the other day. And I've been doing this program. I've been working a lot on myself recently to become a better man in general. I want to learn a lot about myself. I want to heal from, certain traumas that I had as a kid and, a lot of things that I really need to work on myself, right? And I've been doing this program, and this program taught me something. He said, yo, every time something happens, okay, you need to ask yourself 2 questions. Number 1 is, what am I going to focus on? Right? Are you going to focus on the negative, the things that didn't work out for you, or are you going to focus on the positive about that situation? And the second thing you're going to ask yourself is, what does that mean? Okay. So for example, something happens in our life. What the situation that you currently have in your life, let's say the situation that's in your life right now is that everything is going your way. You're making a lot of money, everything, you're in the best place that you've ever been. Okay, now what are we going to focus on? Think about this. I want you guys to stay with me here. For my people that are in the best place in their life right now, everything is working in your favor. This is a situation, right? You're in the best place in your life. Everything is working in your favor. You're in momentum. You're making money. Your relationship is thriving, all of this stuff, right? Ask yourself, first question, what are you going to focus on? Yes, things are going great, but what's the next level? What is the positive that you got from this? How are you learning from this? What are you going to continue to strive for? What's the next focus? What's the next level? What do you need to adjust to get to that next level? You have to find out what exactly you're going to focus on, because remember, your next focus is what's going to determine how you get to that next level. So yes, you got here, you're in a great place right now, You want to focus on the fact that you're in a great place, because remember, whatever you focus on grows. But what is it that's going to help you get to that next level, Lau? And then you ask yourself the second question: what does this mean? Well, this means that I have to learn. I have to pour into myself more. I have to invest more into myself. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do this. I have to do that. For me, it's the same thing. Like, for example, I'm in a really good place in my business, right? I feel really good about where I'm at business-wise. But I focus, all right, what am I going to focus on? I'm going to focus on now making sure that in the areas that I'm good, how can I get all of these areas now to the next level? How can I become a better trader? How can I become a better e-commerce store owner? How can I become a better leader so I can hit new ranks in my business? I'm focused on the things that are going to help me get to the next level there. Okay, but what does this mean? This means that I need to pour into myself more, because in order for my businesses to grow, I have to grow. In order for, my e-commerce store to continue to grow and generate money, I'm going to have to continue to pour into my store and invest more into that. In order for me to grow, I need to invest into more books, more courses, more events. So what did I do? I purchased a VIP ticket to Break the Code event. I'm studying a program right now that's helping me become that better version of myself. So I got to realize these things are so key and so important for everybody to understand. And you'll realize as time goes on that you'll grow through these things. You'll grow through all of these things, but you got to be happy with the journey. You got to be happy that things are happening the way that they're happening, because they always lead to a greater purpose. They always lead to something better. And that's why I've been able to, even though we go through things, I'm able to be happy with where I'm at, because I know that everything is for a greater good, right? Because let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever gone through something tough and then you look back 3 months, 6 months later, and you're like, yo, wow, I was going through that, but look at how much better my life is now? Put a 3 in the chat box if you ever had one of those realizations. Like, maybe you were going through something at some point. Maybe, for example, let's say you were going through something 6 months ago, but right now you're in the best place you've ever been, right? You look back and you're like, damn, but I was going through all of that 6 months ago, and look at where I'm at today. Look at how much I've learned today. Look at how much happier I am today. And that just teaches you that even though you may be struggling or whatever it is, you want to make sure that you're happy during that. Okay? I'm in a great place as well. But even though I'm there, can I continue to strive and do more? Can I continue to be happy with where I'm at? Can I continue to embrace the journey? Can I continue to do more? Because I'm telling you guys right now, I have mentors: Matt Rosa, Alex Morton, Jason Brown. They're in the best place that they've ever been in their whole entire life. They are in the best place that they've ever been their whole entire life. But guess what? They're not content, and they're always striving for more. But the best thing about them is that they love the journey. Something I've learned about Matt, he loves the journey. He loves what comes with the journey. And in reality, guys, let me be real with you. The challenges never stop. The challenges actually are what make you grow. The challenges are what help you become better. You can't get to the next level without a challenge. You can't get to the next level without a challenge. You can't get to the next level if you're not being challenged. I'm telling you. Every time I've been challenged, I've gotten to another level. It was like I was talking about on MMX yesterday. I said, yo, every time I received a gift from God, I was always tested right before it. I was always tested right before the gift. Like, yo, God has never failed with that right there. Right before I got a chairman check, right before I made my biggest week, right before anything, God always gives me a little test before that hand. Man, let me tell you guys what, God is testing me right now. But I know that God is testing me to prepare me for the mindset and the person and the man and the boyfriend and the husband that I need to become in 2023 at one point. The father I need to be in the future at one point. Testing me. It's tough. It's difficult. It's not easy. But guess what happens? He's putting me through this to teach me a lesson. Okay, Nano, you got to deal with this. This is what you need to learn from this. Boom, 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 boom. And I'll look back 3 months from now, 6 months from now, and I'll be like, I understand now why I went through that. But you know why? I'm happy now. I can actually say that I wasn't in a few days ago because it was hard, but now I'm able to really take it and I'm like, I got it. I figured it out. You know, because it takes time. It takes time to sit there and have a challenge in your life and be able to reprogram that challenge for a positive. I need you guys to understand this. Sometimes you go through certain challenges and it's hard for you to reprogram it into a positive one. But that's the best thing about it. You're able to take certain things in life and take them and boom, turn it into a positive. And that's super key. Very, very key to do. So I'm so grateful for this because I'm going to turn this into a positive scenario. And even though we're here, I'm happy we're here. I'm excited that I'm here. I'm blessed to be here because without this place, I can't grow to be the person that I want to be tomorrow. And that's the mindset that I want you guys to embrace. Love today so you can embrace tomorrow. If you don't embrace today, if you don't love today, if you don't enjoy today, you can't embrace tomorrow. And if you don't love today, guess what? You're not going to love tomorrow. If you don't appreciate today, you're not going to appreciate tomorrow. And remember, you'll never get nothing that you're not ready to receive. And if you're not appreciating, your hands are closed. If you're not appreciating, your hands are closed. You can't receive when your hands are closed. The only way you can receive is when your hands are open. And how do you open your hands? By being grateful for the moments that you are living right now, the excitement of where you are right now, the growth of where you are right now, regardless of whether you could be down or you can be up. You have to make sure that you always have your hands open to receive the blessings that are coming into you, regardless of the situation that you are in. Because remember, we're never down. We're either up or getting back up. Don't let that go over your head. Okay? Do not let that go over your head. You're either up or you're on your way up. But none of us are ever down. None of us are down. You're either up or on your way up. And that's the facts. That's the truth. You're either up or you're on your way up. There's no down for us. There's no such thing as us being down. And that's why we must spend time every day paying attention to, what we're putting our focus on. What do these things mean for us? Because if not, we're always going to live empty. We're always going to live in this blank space. We're always going to feel empty. We're always going to feel out of purpose. And you don't want to feel like that. You don't ever want to feel like that on this journey to becoming the best version of you. Regardless of where you are in your journey, you want to be happy with where you are every single day. If you're going to put time, effort, and energy into something, that should be into yourself. You should ask yourself, you should actually be counting the hours that you put into yourself every day. That's what everybody here should be doing. How much time, how much energy, and how much effort are you putting into you? Are you putting more energy, effort, and time into your job? Are you putting more energy, time, and effort into social media, into your friends, to your girlfriend or boyfriend, all of these things? What are you putting more time into? Whatever you put more time into is taking away from where you should be putting more time into. Okay? And sometimes you need to see that and understand that maybe you got to go through a phase in your life where you need to put a lot more time into yourself and spend less time on these areas. And you got to understand that that's what it takes sometimes. You may have to take some times in solitude. You may have to spend some time away from certain people in order for you to grow to that version of yourself that you need to grow to, in order for you to become that better leader, that better mother, that better father, that better boyfriend, that better girlfriend, whatever it is we need to become better. We need to spend time away from certain people sometimes. And that's okay, because we need to be paying attention to where we are spending the time and the energy and the effort that we're putting into. And is that truly growing right there? Has it truly been growing right there? And if it's not, you need to shift it into the things that are going to grow. And when you start to pour into yourself, when you start to work on yourself, when you start to fulfill yourself, you will fill up that blank space that is missing. Every time I've ever felt empty is because I wasn't pouring into myself enough. And I was focused on something that at the time wasn't growing. But now I focus on the things that are growing in my life. This is growing. Let me continue to pour into this. These are the things that I gotta pour into. This is the time I need to put more time, more energy, and more focus into that right now. And I'm in a place in my life like that right now. I know that there's areas in my life where I need to put more time, more energy, and more focus into. Because sometimes, right, we put so much time, energy, and effort into certain things that we lose ourselves in other areas. And you may lose yourself, but you got to find yourself. Sometimes, write this down, sometimes you got to lose yourself to find yourself. And that's facts. Type an amen in the chat box for that one. Sometimes you got to lose yourself to find yourself. And that's facts. And that's true story right there. True story. Sometimes you got to lose yourself to find yourself. And that's the real. You know, it's like I said, what do we say? Charge it to the game. You got to charge it to the game. You got to charge it to the game. I know, for example, I'll use my sister Jasmine, who's on this call. You know, she's an incredible person. I know she lost herself before she found herself. Real talk. There's people on this call right now that had to lose themselves in order to find themselves. I had to lose myself to find myself. I had to go through the challenges that I'm going through in order for me to find myself now. But if it didn't happen, I wouldn't have found myself. Think about that. So that's why you got to be grateful for what does happen in your life. That's why you got to be grateful for all the things that do happen. You know why? Because everything that happens is happening for a better purpose. Every single day, you will find ways to embrace the journey. Every day, you just got to find ways to love the journey so you can fill up that empty space, that blank space that I'm talking about, that I know so many of us feel all the time. You know how you find it? By losing yourself to find yourself. Nick said, I've lost myself many times. All the disciples did. It's the truth, right? It's the truth. You know, it is the things that you have to sometimes have happen in your life so, you know, it can be understood, right? It can be something that is embraced. And at the end of the day, when you know that, so many things can change for you guys. I promise you, right? Find your purpose, find the love in what you're doing right now. My best advice for all of you is for this, before we end this call, find love in what you're going through. Find love in where you are. Look for it. Embrace it. Find love in God. Find love in your relationship. Find love in your business. Find love in all of these things, man. I'm telling you, look for it. Look for it in all areas. In all areas. Find love with your family. Find love with your kids. Fill up. Fill it up. Fill it up in all those areas. Fill it up in all of those areas. Because whatever area you don't fill it up in, that area will suffer. And that area, you know, those areas have suffered for me. Okay. You know, and because you sometimes get so caught up in life, the journey, the business, the this, the that, you know, other areas do suffer. And sometimes you go through certain things, but you have to understand that eventually those things happen so that you can be able to keep your awareness always active on what it is that's important. Because sometimes what you think is least important ends up being what is most important. Write that down. Sometimes what you think is least important ends up becoming the most important. The most important. That's how it works. Yo, it's crazy how it works, but it does. If you think that, you know, for example, God right now may not be as important, there'll come a time where God will be the most important. If you think that right now your business is not as important, eventually one day your business will be what's most important. If you think your family, your relationship is not what's most important right now, eventually one time in your journey, it'll become the most important. I promise you that. Anthony repeated it for me in the chat. Sometimes what you think is least important ends up being the most important. And that's truth. And I can tell you guys that from experience. I can tell you guys that from experience, fam. That term right there, I've lived it. I've lived it. Sometimes what you think is most important, sometimes what you think is least important becomes the most important. So make sure that you're giving importance to all the things in your life. I know you're going to go through challenges. I know you're going to go through ups and downs. We're going to go through peaks and we're going to go through valleys, peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. But find love in the valleys and appreciate the peaks. Find love in the valleys and appreciate the peaks. Find love in the valleys and appreciate the peaks. That's how it works. I find love in the valleys, but I appreciate the peaks. Because if you don't find love and appreciation in the valleys, you don't deserve the peaks. You got to think about this. If you don't find love and appreciation in the valleys, you can't appreciate the peaks. Because you're going to go through the valleys and then you're going to go to peaks. You're going to go through valleys and then you're going to go back to peaks. That's the journey. That's why I'm telling you guys, love the journey. Love the journey. The journey is what's going to bring us the happiness, not the destination. Enjoy those moments where it may not seem like it's the best, but also appreciate the peaks when everything is going your way and everything is striving for you. Love those things, appreciate those things, be present in those things, ask for more guidance. What do they say? Right? Once you get what you ask for, right? Ask God for discipline and ask God for discipline to help you keep it. Ask God for strength and discipline to help you keep it. Once you get what you ask for, once you get to that peak, ask God to give you the strength and the wisdom and the discipline to stay up there. Because eventually you have to go through another valley. And like they said, the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next one. So think about that. We never stop climbing. You know, we never ever really stop climbing. The top of one mountain is the bottom of the next one we got to climb. So imagine that we've been climbing. I'm at the top. Whew, I'm here. Yes, I made it to the top of the mountain. Let's go. And then you look up and you're like, damn, but I'm at the bottom of the next one. Now I got to climb this one. So that's why it's so important to just enjoy the journey. Because even though you're going to get to that top of that mountain, that's only going to be the bottom of the next one. Because no matter what, you're not always going to be satisfied. You're not always going to be content. You're going to be like, well, I got here, but if I go up there, the view will be nicer. So let me climb for this one. So this is why I tell you guys, love the process, appreciate the process. No matter how hard it is, no matter how much challenges you go through, love the process. Because you can either be on your way up and struggling, or you could already be at the top of the mountain feeling the best you've ever felt. But then you look up and you're like, I got to climb the next one. Like I said, you're never down. You're either up or you're on your way up. You're either up or you are on your way up. And that's how it is. You got to understand that you're either up or you are on your way up. Let me see, somebody said something here. Life is all about climbing out of one box to only find out there's a new box you got to figure out and climb out of the next step in your life. And that's facts. You know, I love that. I love what Sean said. He said, you know, BT said, life is all about climbing out of one box only to find out that there's a new box you got to learn how to climb. So think about that. That's true. And that goes hand in hand with, you know, you climb to the top of one mountain and you find out that that's just the bottom of the next one. Okay, and the bottom of the next one, and the bottom of the next one. So appreciate and love the valleys, but also love the peaks, because this is where it can all change for you. And I hope that you guys took a lot of notes on this. I hope you guys were able to gain something from this, because guess what? Let me tell you something. 2023 is no different than any other year. Every year brings challenges. It brings obstacles. It brings celebration. It brings success. So it's not like 2023 is going to be this rainbow and butterfly year. No, there will be challenges in 2023. There will be triumphs, there will be valleys, but there will be peaks. But how can we find the happiness in all of it? How can we stay at a high vibration through all of it? Because if we stay at a high vibration through all of it, guess what? We're always where we need to be, because we know we are exactly where we need to be. You got to be thankful for those things. You got to be thankful for those things. And when you become thankful for those things, you'll see that everything really starts to change for you. And that's how true it is. 11-11. 11-11. Sometimes, and look, guys, sometimes you're not ready for certain things. You're not. Sometimes you're not ready. And sometimes you got to get yourself ready and come back stronger. Sometimes you're not ready for certain things. Sometimes you're not ready for that next level. Sometimes you're not ready for that business, for that relationship, or whatever it is. But you got to develop yourself to become ready for that. Because like we always say, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. And that's the truth. That is the God honest truth. All right. And we got to understand that that's one of the truest statements right there. If you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. And I'm telling you, that's the game changer. So if you guys got value from today's call, let's put some 333s in the chat boxes. If you guys got value from today's call, I am so grateful. I am so blessed to be here with all of you. I want to make sure that, you know, everybody here got value from what it is that, you know, we continue to do here. Is super powerful what's happening each and every single day. But if you guys got value from today's call, let me know in the chat box. I want to know that you guys got value. I think it's important that we all know. But, you know, the message I wanted to make sure that was, you know, understood today is just love this journey, man. And even though you may, you know, have things that happen, and even though you may be in a good place, in a bad place, wherever it is that you are, you got to appreciate it and you got to love every single moment. You got to appreciate and love every single moment in the journey, no matter what is happening. Okay, you got to love it and you got to appreciate it. I'm telling you guys, it makes all the difference. Okay, and remember, sometimes what seems least important becomes most important. So what I would recommend you guys, so that you guys don't make some of the same mistakes that I've made, is think about what are some things in your life that you have made least important. Ask yourself that question. Before we end this call, I want you to ask yourself that question. Okay, I want you to ask yourself that question right there. What are some things that I've made least important that may become more important later? What are some things? What are some things that happened in your life? What are some areas in your life right now that you've given least importance to, that now you're going to give more importance to after this call? please don't make some of the same mistakes that I've made. The reason I give you guys the advices that I give you is so that you guys don't make the same mistakes I've made in the past. I'm here to teach you guys so much more. You know, if you guys jump on mornings when I'm even more vulnerable on MMX than I am on here. Okay. You know, I'll always be honest and truthful with you guys so you guys can know that, yo, we all go through similar things. And, you know, I got highs, I got lows, we got highs and we got lows, but we got to keep going. We got to keep going. We got to keep going. We got to keep going regardless of everything. You just got to love every moment of it. And I promise you, it'll all change for you. All right, fam. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, again, find out what area in your life right now you've made least important and start giving. I'm not telling you to make it the most important right away, but give it some importance. Give it some time. Give it some effort. Give it some energy. Because remember, whatever we don't use, we forfeit. Whatever we don't give energy to dies. Whatever we don't focus on doesn't grow. So maybe let this call be that right there. Maybe that's the reason why you may be feeling the emptiness and the blank space that you have right now, is because there's a certain area in your life that you're not making important, that should be important. And I promise you that you do not want to experience the experiences that I've had where you thought it wasn't as important right now, and then it ends up becoming the most important to you. Don't be that person. All right? Because sometimes what you think is not important, like I said again, becomes the most important. So if it's God, if it's your business, if it's your relationship, if it's your family, if it's your kids, if it's your job, if it's your friends, sometimes what you think is least important becomes the most important. Don't wait for it to leave. Don't wait for it to fall apart. Don't wait for whatever it is to happen for you to make it important. Make it important now. Trust me. It'll save you the hurt. It'll save you the pain. It'll save you the struggle. It'll save you the challenge and the obstacle that you'll go through. All right, fam. So I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for hopping on. I hope that you guys were able to gain something from this. I think that in all reality, and I could basically, in one call, we can all say that the message for today was, whatever we feel like is least important, make it the most important. Okay? Trust me. That summarizes the whole call right there. Because that blank space will be filled. And this goes for people who are in a great place, and this goes for people who are in a growing place. It goes for both of us. That blank space needs to be filled. Okay? And we want to go into the new year with that, and we want to go into that new year vibrating higher than ever. All right, fam? So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram at Long Live Nano. Okay. If you guys, this is my other Instagram at Mornings with Nano, which is managed by myself and Jasmine. If you guys haven't gotten your Mornings with Nano journals, okay. If you haven't gotten your Mornings with Nano journal and you want to get one for Christmas for somebody, I know it's already December 20th. Okay, but if you order it now, you should be either able to get it, you know, hopefully by the end of the week, but worst case scenario, next week, right after Christmas, okay? You know, if you want to give somebody a Mornings with Nano journal, you know, sometimes the best gifts you can give somebody is a journal, is a book, you know? So, you know, if you're looking for a nice, cheap gift to get somebody that they can gain value from, give them a Mornings with Nano journal. The link is right there in the chat box on Amazon. You know, it's less than $25 for the whole journal. It brings lessons. It brings gold cards. It brings a place for them to take notes. You know, it brings everything. So, you know, it's a great, great place for you to write your goals down in. And overall, just a phenomenal journal. And we're already working on another one. So let's get you guys plugged in with that. And be ready soon because merch is going to be dropping soon. All right. I'm going to be getting the final details for the merch and how it looks. And before the end of the year, hopefully, going into the new year, we're going to start already making some pre-orders for it. And I'm looking to receive merch by February. Okay, so February, we should be receiving some merch for the Mornings with Nano family, and I am so, so excited for it. So show love, appreciate you guys. And with that being said, I'm gonna do a quick prayer for us, and we're gonna wrap it up right there. Everybody bow your heads and let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with such an amazing day that is filled with your abundance and your grace. We are feeling blessed and we are feeling excited to have someone like you in our life that continues to bless us and continues to give us the lessons that we need in order for us to become the best versions of ourselves. Today, we found out and learned about an empty space, a blank space that we must fill. And for some of us, we need to find that empty space. And sometimes for us, that place might be you, God. For some of us, it might be our relationship. For some of us, it might be our kids. It may be our businesses. But whatever it is, we want to find a way to fill it up regardless of what it is. Because like you taught me and you let me know in prayer, you let me know that sometimes the things that we think are least important end up becoming the most important. And I've learned that lesson very thoroughly. And I'm so grateful that you taught me that, because right now we all needed to hear that. We all needed to understand that. And we are just all so thankful, because now we're going to find out what is least important in our lives, and we're going to make it more important. And we're going to put more time, more energy, and more effort into those things so we can grow in those areas and become the best versions of ourselves. So God, thank you so very much for guiding us, for being there for us, for being a leader, for protecting us, for healing us, and just always being there for us. Because honestly, God, none of the things that are happening in this community would be possible without you. For those who are struggling and going through things, continue to put your hand over them. And for those who are going through the best times in their lives and they're striving, continue to give them more and more and more, because we all deserve it, Father. So we love you. We appreciate you. Let's go out there and have a productive day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 All right. So let's do it, fam. Let's go. I'm excited. I'm blessed. I'm looking forward to this amazing day. I hope you guys got value from this. And I'll see you guys next Thursday, December 22nd on Mornings with Nano on YouTube. And if you want to get plugged in with MMX, which is our Mindset Mastery program, where we're going to be doing Mornings with Nano Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on the MMX platform. It comes with an MMX inner circle where you'll have direct access to me and Jasmine, and we're going to be able to do, private calls and trainings, and, you guys are going to be the ones that always get first access to merch, retreats, trips, events, all of the things that have to do with MMX and Mornings with Nano. People in the MMX inner circle will always get first dibs, and then you'll get things, investment ideas. I told you guys about, Airbnb. I told you guys on how to fix your credit. All of these things you guys will be able to get access to within the MMX inner circle. All right, fam. So I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys so much. And I will see you guys tomorrow on MMX for another episode of Morning.